Hey gang, Gameface here, and I am back in Planet Coaster. Though it doesn't really look like it. Hey Wolfie, hey Yeet, welcome back. Um, yeah. So what am I doing today? I guess, I can come back and fill in a lot of this stuff off stream just because it's kind of boring me going through and doing the same thing with the buildings over and over and over again. What I should be doing is putting together the assortment of buildings and sort of, like what we did yesterday with this one. I got everything in place, got 50% of the coverage done, covered some new ideas. I still need to. There's a lot of stuff to do here. Well, actually, maybe we can do some of this. Yeah, maybe I'll do some of this first, and then I have a plan. Or I have. I hope to be able to build another building. I have an idea in my head. I just don't have it quite fleshed out enough to really commit. So, that's where we're at. Obviously, this can't all be, like, visible. It's got to be mostly, overgrown. But I have found a problem with using these. If I use them too much, there's a hole in the middle, eh? So you gotta be careful how it's attached. Or it can look like there's a hole in the top of it. Oh no, it's just a ride. It's one ride. It's a single coaster. So there's no worries about that. But yeah, as you can see, it's not going to be small either. Already it's quite large in like area. Not compared to what the whole park could be. But this isn't a big park either. I think this isn't a big park. Maybe it's bigger than I think it is. I don't know. So the other thing I want to do is I want to build up the walk up experience. So as you walk up to the park, it's going to be jungly. Walk up to the ride, it's going to be jungly around it. It's going to, there'll be some other wrecks and ruins and, maybe a highway with a bunch of cars all, like that. Maybe that's what we'll be walking down. It's like the middle of a abandoned highway, abandoned road to this overgrown city. Hey, Meganico. That's sort of like, the idea. But, it's all gonna depend on how the, I don't know. You never know where it's gonna go. That's what I'm trying to say. can't expect it all to stay together. We want some variety here, though, too. Can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. What? That one took. The last one just disappeared when I put it down. Whoa. How big these are. Oh yeah. Need some color in here. It's too big. No. I'm trying desperately not to overdo one thing or another, because that's what throws it all off, I find. Hmm. Well, you're gonna have to move somewhere for a second there, tree. Move over here so I don't forget you. I'll build this up a bit. I guess I could probably, make the coaster a little more the thing a little more inviting by changing the name from Apocalyptic City to the Lost World or something like that. Hey, Jake. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Gary Coogan. Welcome to the stream. It's going good. At least so far, it's going good. No, it's going good. It is going very good. Yeah. I don't know if it's just me, but I think we need another tree growing off the side of this thing. And I really need to continue working on the groundwork. That really starts to pull things together. Maybe I should delete these. I think they've served their purpose. How long did this take? We're on the part 6. I don't know. 12 or 14 hours? Maybe 15 or 16? Somewhere around there. But as we can see, this isn't going to go very well. They're just going to go and immediately hit this. But I guess we can always just move that building over a bit. But I need another building now. Yeah, I know I've got this one. I haven't done anything with it. But this is my breakdown building. This is the one that is completely made out of parts where I can just, you know, do anything I want with them. It won't let me do anything. It's not letting me move it. So I can like have this building like broken down like that. But I should probably put some floors in it and stuff like that first. An elevator shaft. Something to make it a little more of a building. Oh, I don't use other people's blueprints. I should, you know, like really. That's, you know, probably all said and done, that's about 1,500 pieces. What are those? Oh, really? Well, I guess now and then I miss. Really? They're like all underground. That's not good. Have a problem with Steam. And what's that problem? None of this stuff is visible. That is weird. Okay, so like I said, new building. Maybe this is the building I need to work on now. But I don't want to turn it because right now it's lined up with the world, and if I turn it, it won't be lined up with the world anymore, will it? And then bad things will happen when I'm building it. Is it just that game? Or is it all games? I would probably, you know, verify files and go through those steps. But I'm, you know, I don't know. Okay, so I need temple pieces, and we need them in a color that's not that color. It would be nice if they covered all that stuff. Doesn't need to actually look like a temple. Ooh. Okay. Have you tried turning off syncing? Going into the properties and turning off cloud saves? Like, for instance, I can't have cloud saves on Planet Coaster because I don't have all day. And at this point, it would literally take all day. Well, it wouldn't take, but you know what I mean. It would take a while. Okay, so the elevator shaft is going to have to be much more simple on this one. I wouldn't do a combination of. Do you have a saved game? Yeah, when it's done. Yeah. I guess I really can't get it much closer to the back than that. I guess I'll just do what I can do. That's all that I can do. Obviously, I can't use the other piece on the front because then this building wouldn't be. We couldn't break it down. How is that possible? Each floor is... I don't get it. How have I possibly made every floor longer than 4 meters? Or maybe it's exactly 4 meters. Maybe that's what's going on. Hmm. Weird. Must have come from somewhere else. Okay. Let's do this. I think I'll take a slice across it like here. Maybe on an angle. Well, I know it's on an angle, but maybe on a cross angle like this. And just crush it down like that. And I'm going to take that top corner off. I'm going to break all this off too. Well, then I would say that the problem isn't Steam. The problem's the game. There's something wrong with the game. Would be my guess at this point. Now. Okay, so I'm thinking here that we can make this look like it recently did this by excuse me, by having trees attached to it that are still growing at an angle. If the trees were growing straight, it would have happened a long time ago. I know people watching this or riding this coaster are not going to be thinking this, but I don't care. So if I were to say attach a tree like right here, let's not attach, let's go with something smaller. Maybe not. And I angled it to match the building. And then over here, we attach another. But it's straight. Hey, Demuncha. Okay, let's do it like this. And of course, we'll just cover that part that just doesn't look right. No, that was not what I was doing. Okay. That was the easy part. it's not working for me there, tree. Or maybe it is. I'm trying to align it to the crooked part. And I guess it is aligned to the crooked part. Okay, I'm going to totally overgrow this whole corner. It didn't go where I wanted it to. Just at the totally wrong angle. Suddenly. Okay, I need something with a little more color just for a bit. That's not really gonna put it straight on that, is it? No, not at all. Okay, I'll just manually make it crooked. The only reason there's a big pile here, of course, is because the whole thing collapsed onto itself, like so. Physics, that's why. It's physics. And gravity. Well, I guess gravity's just physics. The plot thickens. I just needed to make sure I was covering those. Hey, Thomas. Okay, Nick, we'll see you later. Hopefully you have it worked out by the next stream. is going to require a lot more. What's going on here? Is that what's going on here? Okay, obviously that can't be like what it looks like, but that's the beginning of what it looks like. This tree's sort of in the way. Sorry. Okay, so I gotta sort of pull back from all this and sort of look to see what I've done here. I guess most of this all lines up. I know it doesn't look as lined up as it should, but I think it is. See, I've got all these different I guess I don't know. I guess the front of this building should be on the front of this building. No, I don't want trees too high in here. Like, I've got a path for a coaster to travel down this thing, but I don't want it barren and empty like this either. Excuse me. Now, for trees, I think I'm just gonna put some of the smaller beech trees. And just along here. No, there's water there, isn't there? Where does the water go to? Yeah, I was thinking of sinking the fire truck further into the ground, actually. I think something like this. The problem, of course, is small rubble. Loop. No, stationary. Probably has freaking headlights. Sorry. Hey, Frosty. Okay, now to get some other stuff in here. All of this sort of needs to be covered. Well, you know, actually, I don't mind. I don't know. It's hard to say sometimes. You know, you cover everything with green and then you lose some of the detail. Yeah, I can show the whole thing. So, like, here's the path of the coaster. But the whole thing, right now, looks like that. Obviously, I need to do some stuff in here, but I think the coaster's actually going to come through this, so I'll even have to break some of the walls down and stuff like that. But yeah. Not so much finished from this side, but it will be. Okay. Oh, that's nice. That's no. You see how I carefully placed it, and then I clicked the button, and it completely ignored me and put it over there somewhere. Oh, Planet Coaster. Thanks for hosting, Frosty. Hey, Ray Canal. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so I'm back up a little bit here. I guess I could use a little bit more green. Whoops. No, I don't want that green. No. This green? Yeah. Right along the water, too. No. Oh yeah, I've got all the DLC. And you can see the Ghostbusters DLC in use on this tower here. I think this is cast stone lower wall archway is a Ghostbusters piece. Well, even some of this might be. No, it's just normal brick. Classic. But yeah, it's got some really nice parts in it. Actually, the big thing with the Ghostbusters pack for me was a lot of the building fronts. I can make a much nicer indoor space with using stuff like that. Okay, oh, it's probably one of the most worthwhile DLCs when it comes to value. You know, the only DLC that I'd have to say anything bad about is the Knight Rider, the monsters, like that whole, those initial DLCs. They were awful, completely useless. Never ever used any piece of them once. Oh, maybe that's a lie. Maybe I used one piece of them once. So yeah, but everything else. But of course, then I get then people are like, I've uploaded stuff to the workshop, which is used. You know, it's only had 150 parts in it, but it's like, and it's used almost all the DLC, and people dislike it because of that. I'm like, what? You know. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword. Everything seems to be. love to cover some of this. That just doesn't look good. Without completely burying it, I think that's about as good as I can do. Not that completely burying it would be better. Hey, Gekugan, thanks for hosting. Okay, I think I want more water down here. Like a big pool of water. I still haven't decided. Okay, so let's say the subway entrance is down here. Our coaster launches. I know that's like, let's say this is over here. Our coaster launches. I'm like from one end of the map to the other. And we go through some type of sequence to bring us through here. We'll visit the cars in the rusted out cars in the parking lot. We'll come down here and we will, or maybe it's in here. But whatever. We make a trip down here. Through everything. Maybe not. I don't know. And then we dive into the subway. And then we come back across. But maybe in that time we come over here. But then again, if we're in the subway too far, like, oh, that's just... So if we're in the subway for too long, how am I going to light that at night? It's just... How am I going to figure that out? I guess the subway can go underneath all the water. No. Okay, I will put something there, but not that and not. Yeah, but this is supposed to be like 10,000 years after humanity's just like gone. This is like life after people type, life after humans type thing. So a generator running, yeah, none of that would make any sense. That's the problem. Yeah, yeah. Like if you look at, if you like, this is the ideal growth of that I'm looking to get over stuff. Like this is the you know. So as you can imagine, this would take a long time. Like in this case, the whole thing's collapsed into itself. Um, a lot of the buildings that are steel and concrete are still standing, but should be like this isn't done. This is empty. Needs to be just absolutely covered like this. So yeah, I've got a ways to go. But that's the idea. Whether or not that's what it'll be, who knows? That's the thing with these builds. In the daytime, I was thinking cracks in the ground that would let the light in, and there could be water pouring down. But I'm also a little wary of that because, well, we'll see. We'll just have to build it and see what happens. Okay. I need some trees. enough of these on the ground. I have so many attached to the side of buildings. Yeah, see, again, yeah, I don't know. I have to admit, it'd be very surprising to go down in the subways and have lava flowing there. But I don't know if that's the direction I'm going. Hey, lacrosse dude. Yeah, I'm pulling the coaster out that's in here right now. I need to go with a launch coaster of some type, just because I need more control over it than the chain lift would allow, and that way I can speed it up and slow it down as we're going through the course, as we're going through the I don't know, course is not the right word, but going through the city. Yeah, we'll have to see. The subway. You know, my image, the image I have right now is of a flooded subway with you know, broken pipes hanging down, because you know you'll see pipes running down inside under in the tunnels in the subway and stuff like that. Um, you know, but flooded. The tops of subway cars showing. Um, heavily decorated roof, like I designed in one of the train stations I built. Um, so I somewhat have an image of what this is going to look like. But again, like, this might just be a ride that I'm going to say, hey, it's a post-apocalyptic city you're riding through. There is no lighting. It just might be the case. Ride by moonlight if you're riding at night. Um, I know I don't want to do that at this point. I'm going to see what I can come up with. But if you've looked at my parks and what I've built in the past, you'll notice that I really dislike unnatural lighting. I'm much more likely to go for something more natural. Yeah, if you search YouTube for Pirates Paradise Theme Park, you'll see what I mean about the lighting. Even Glow World. But Glow World isn't on, well, I guess it is on YouTube. It's just not on a bigger site that'll come up in a search. I need to I'm kind of worried how all the water got in here. Oh, it's gone. Oh, it went around this way. Okay. No, I'm not doing that. I don't know. I almost like the water in there. It's just that it was covering stuff. Oh well. I was putting piles of rubble down. We're getting ahead of ourselves, but go ahead. Yeah. What's the suggestion? Whoops. I don't need a store. There's not going to be any stores open. I'm going to have to take a nap after this. Okay, yeah, actually, you know, that's one thing about this coaster is it's going to be more of a tour coaster than a all outs. I want nine excitement coaster. It's not going to be one of those. So yeah, you're definitely leaning in the right direction there. You know, it might because in the subway, let's say, I can repeat things. I might go through there a little faster, which would make sense because then they'll get um, a they'll get a sense of what's there because they'll get to see it over and over and over again, which will basically be rusty cars and stuff like that. Rusty train cars and subway cars. See, I don't know if I did such a good job of all this. Now that I'm like this far in and I'm looking at all this, and I'm like, I like this, but then I look at this and I'm like, I think my station looks kind of crappy now at this point. I think I'm gonna have to fix some of the station. But don't worry, it'll turn out just fine. Oh no, the launch coaster is so that I can that you don't have to be pulled up on a chain to add more potential to the or drop down a level. I can slow you down as you come into a building. We can go around a corner, down into another floor, and I can slow you down, keep you slow the whole time, and then speed you out of the building off to the next one. That type of thing. Where if it was just a chain lift, there would be no potential for any of that. I think. Or at least I wouldn't be able to pull it off. Maybe is the best way to put it. Okay, now all the wasted potential. The problem with this is it can't go any other way but this because, gravity. So I don't think I'm going to be able to build all the way up on this thing. I'll just be able to build up like maybe like that. else could this be covered in? No. Oh, I see. I've already done that right there. Let's not repeat that immediately. It's just not clicking. I don't know. Here I went saying all those things and I can't accomplish any of them. Yay me. I will continue to try. Oh no, those are the hanging color. That's the one on the ground. Probably YouTube right now notifying me that I'm streaming. Okay, whatever. Now I got to be a little more careful here. I can't really pile stuff up because I have no queue built yet. So I'm going to have to wait on that. But I think this is a vast improvement over what was there before. Does that even look right? No way. I didn't think so. Little details. Look how big this is compared to a fire truck. The scale of things in this game is just so wrong. Can you imagine having one of these in your house? Like, I'm pretty sure this is a plant that you can have as a house plant. It's not the size of a fire truck, though. I just look around and I'm like, oh, so much work to do. But like, this is getting much better. Until it's not. Then you gotta turn around and go back. I basically just wanted to build something that had roots growing all over it. That's all that happened here. Oh, I've got a lot of work to do on the back of these. Okay, Meganico. Have a good one. Maybe we'll see you next time. It's a jungle out there. It's also a bit of a jungle in here too. We'll just build an ancient temple right in the middle of it. No, we won't. Sorry. Yeah, I'm trying something crazy and new. Probably stupid. is not going to be what I think it was going to be. But hey, at least I tried. No. Like, you know, Planet Coaster. Seriously, it's mouse up when things are supposed to occur, not mouse down. If I click my mouse down on something and the up occurs on that same thing, that's when the action takes place. Do you Windows or what? Or are you using some other operating system that works on the mouse down? Sorry. That just bugs the crap out of me. Because it's to avoid the exact same problems that they're causing. That's why things work on the mouse up. And don't work on the mouse up when the mouse down occurs on something else. But don't worry. Planet Coaster's got your back. Well, no. It doesn't have a back. And it doesn't have yours. It's not the most terrible tree in the world. I actually quite like the tree. I've seen much, much worse trees, to tell you the truth. But it's a tree, a brand new tree in Planet Coaster. Never seen a tree quite like it. Okay. There's our tree. Yeah, never mind where I click the button. I guess you didn't catch the, hey, Golden Pie. Didn't catch the click, the mouse moving part? And it confused you, game? Is that what happened? You got confused because of mouse. That's the second tree I've ever... No, I've built more than one tree. This isn't my first tree. I guess I've built dozens of trees, really. Okay. Destroy. This just looks like, again, I get here and I'm like, this looks so plain now. But I guess with everything else in the background, it doesn't. Whoops. Okay, so when I started today, 2 hours ago, well, that's not when I started today. When I started building today, as well still use it, right? I don't know what's going to work with lights. I'm going to have to wait until we get to that point and do some experiments and figure it out. That's the only way that we're really going to know that answer. But every day we get closer. Right now there's an empty space at one end of the street. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm sure we'll fill it in. Eventually. By the station on the right. Like you mean like I don't know if it's missed or it just hasn't been filled in yet. I'm thinking it's a matter of it just hasn't been filled in yet. We just haven't got to it. We will. Ah. Maybe here. Obviously, this is not good enough. This will not do. This one is not like the others. Not that everybody needs to be the same. That would be terrible. But in this case, we need some consistency. The one would be good is if everybody drove the same. Never mind. One of my pet peeves is bad driving. I drove in Florida once. What I learned when I drove in Florida is they write instructions for you how to drive on the ground. It's like, oh, really? You want me to be looking? I don't know. That's what I found. Oh, go 60 and a 35. Yeah, see, yesterday morning I was going to get my groceries and I didn't actually make it. It was too late. Well, I bought a couple of things. I bought stuff to eat, but I didn't buy my groceries. If that, you probably know what I mean. I was driving down the road and somebody was like right here on the other lane, and just suddenly they just went poof right across, right in front of me, right through the other two lanes and into a parking lot on the other side of the road. I didn't see that, of course, because, you know, I slammed on my brakes just enough to avoid them and kept going. But, you know, they turned right across the freaking... Oh, it was like, oh my God. They looked to see if there was anything coming. Didn't bother with anything else, like you're in the wrong lane, you can't turn from there. And what bugs me is it happened twice. Once wasn't such a dangerous situation, but twice I had people turning from the outside lane across. Well, no. Once was on a one-way. He was on the middle lane. And they just turned right across the whole thing. No, I was turning the same way and was further back in that case, so that I wasn't in risk. But, like... And I've had the same person who parks in the same parking lot as me twice almost hit me. And it was... I'm like... So I was going to work, and there's this part where the people have to stop, and there's two-way traffic going. Well, you don't have time to honk. Like, it's over before, you know, That's the problem with that. So this girl, and I say girl, she's probably about 20. Um, I'm coming down the road, and she decides she's gonna go, and she doesn't turn like there's nobody coming this way. She turns onto the inside lane, like she's driving on the wrong side of the road. And I'm like, I like honk my horn, pull back. I'm like, I'm not getting near you. You're a psycho. And she pulls into the parking lot for where I work. Well, there's lots of people I don't know who work in the same building, but it's a whole bunch of different companies. And she pulls in, and I pull in almost where I normally always park, and I pull right in front of her. And she gets out of the car. I get out of my vehicle, and she's obviously trying to avoid looking at me. She knows she did something wrong, and I just turned to her, and I said, "You're doing it wrong." That's all I said. "You're doing it wrong." And she goes, "I know," and she puts her head down. I'm like, "Ah!" And then, like, a month later, she almost runs me right off the road. As we're driving down, like, there's a place where two lanes turn onto another road, and I don't know. She just starts pulling across, my horn blaring. She doesn't care. I was wondering, the only way that this could be happening is she's both blind and deaf. But I don't think they let blind, deaf people drive. I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong. I guess if they pass the test, they should be allowed to drive. So yeah. And I found it's gotten really bad in the last year for some reason. Um, I've 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 been hit once. Um, the day, the day I tell you the last car payment went through on my vehicle, somebody hit me. It was awesome. This is my life. If you can't see it, there's no point covering it, but if you can, it's probably best to go in and just do that. Okay, so now I think we need to get some color into this thing. Because I think it's pretty well feature complete, if you know what I mean. Sorry, software development tuner. See, I think you and I are building different things, Golden Pie. You've got one image in your head, and I've got something completely different. To me, right now, the buildings are scaffolding to hold as much plants as they possibly can. But whatever. I'm just saying as well. Oh, I know, I know. It can be tedious, and eventually, what you do is you end up running out of places that you want. That you become afraid to put the same bush down all over the place. Is what it is, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. But in a way, you got to think like that's actually what would happen. You'd have like you'd have some type of thing that would fill a niche, some type of plant that would fill a niche, and it would completely fill that niche, like evolutionarily. Especially with the ecosystem that we would leave behind. It might be a little more diverse after 10,000 years, though. Okay, so now we're this far, but we've got this problem of, there's surfaces visible, and there just wouldn't be surfaces visible. I mean, like top surfaces, that wouldn't have happened. So I do need more green. I need to cover some stuff. Can you let me put it where I want to? Can you quit refusing to put it in the exact place I want to put it? Thank you. These edges are especially bad. This is the side that needs some work. This side too. But we'll get to it. But I think this side looks pretty good. Wow, that's some tree cover. So, you know, like the thing is here, if I set the time to like 5:30, this is going to look like pretty nice. Dusk. Maybe not. 6:30? That's not 5:30. That's 4:30. Yeah, there we go. Well, see, your your image is a blueprint. My image is just a feel. Um, you know, like I've tried to explain it as like, you know, it has some of the look and the feel, the coloration of Horizon Zero Dawn. The purples, the greens, that's very prevalent in a lot of the Nora place of Horizon Zero Dawn. The city ruins, of course, in Horizon Zero Dawn are much. They're they're gone further ahead. But yeah, it's an atmosphere. It's a feeling. It's it's multiple layers of things that I that I'm that. But like, this is it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I can say it enough that, like, as I go down here, this is what I'm trying to build. And you know what? I just love the way this tree turned out. It needs an adjustment or two though. But I'm really happy with how it turned out for being a fake tree. Yeah. The Horizon Zero Dawn is it's a post-apocalyptic world. Um, what year does it take place in? No, not February 28th, 2017. I didn't want the day it was released. But of course, they went a little far with the way things degraded. You know, all that was left of buildings were rusted hulks of steel framework. When, you know, we have concrete. Some of the first concrete ever made is still exists today. I know it's not. It's only a couple thousand years old, but whatever. Um, um, it's about 1,000 years. 974 years. since so it's the year 3040. So the world in Horizon Zero Dawn is over decayed. But I guess it would have been. It was a war, a destruction. So a lot of that would have been destroyed by the machines. Basically, what happened with Horizon Zero Dawn is a war AI that was able to take resources from around it, like basically suck up plant material and material, and basically respawn copies of itself. It went wild. There was no protocol to shut it down. Basically, what would happen is this thing was going to completely strip the entire Earth bare. It was not, there was no way to stop it. Humans, everything was fuel for it. So they created a protocol called the Zero Dawn Protocol, which was basically like a reboot of the Earth. They hid away all these things. They created a whole bunch of different AIs to go out, and one was to kill the machines. Two was to go out, kill the war machines, destroy the war machines, or disable them somehow. Of course, it had 1,000 years to figure out the encryption key, so it was able to actually decrypt the instructions and shut down everything. Whereas humans only had 60 years to figure this out, and it was going to take 1,000. So the AI was able to shut down. Gaia was the name of the AI. It was able to shut down the machines and then kick off these other AIs. Hades was one of them. Hades would come along and basically just wipe the Earth clean. And all these other AIs would replant the Earth, reintroduce humanity. And then there was Apollo, which was to bring back the knowledge to humanity. But the psycho who caused the problem in the first place decided that knowledge was the problem, not misuse of knowledge. And he destroyed he destroyed Apollo, the AI. So basically what happened is when humans were reintroduced, they were basically wild. You know. They had no knowledge of the previous world. There was nothing to educate them. It was all driven by superstition, and they ended up like worshiping the sun, and basically, what people would probably do. And they knew there was a previous civilization, and depending on which group of them, there was and there's different tribes. There was the Nora, there's the Banuk, the Ozaram, the Karja. So there's a whole bunch of different tribes that came from these people. But basically what happens in the game is one of the AIs, Hades, gets reactivated. Hades was the one that wiped out everything to start over. And it's going to try to wipe out everything to start over. And that's when the hero of the game was born to the mountain, as they put it. So Aloy is born. She's an outcast because she doesn't have a mother. The Nora tribe is all about motherhood. The places their places are like the mother's cradle, the mother's I can't even remember the name of the towns. But in the long run, basically Aloy is actually a descendant of the person who created Horizon Zero Dawn 1,000 years earlier, like a clone. And she has to figure it all out and basically stop Hades. It's a great game. I cannot say enough good things about Horizon Zero Dawn. It is my favorite game. So the look of the world has sort of this lush, a lot of it. There's desert and stuff like that as well. So it tries to cover a lot of different what's the word, biomes, and it takes place in Yellowstone Park. Actually, is where it all takes place. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn the light up. It's weird how it makes it look all pale. That doesn't help. I should probably stop until I have another building, eh? I think we need something here. So far, the idea of the ride is it's going to come through. We're going to basically do a little view through these buildings. I'm not sure yet if it's going to go from here straight into the subway and down underneath here, and maybe pop up through a hole, come through, drop through another hole down to the subway again. And then I would presume we would turn around. We would probably bring it through the building there, maybe drop down. I don't know. Maybe go around one building, through another. Well, yeah, but see, you're never ever building like that. You're never getting a feeling for what you're building. All you got is a bunch of shells. So no, I find this progressive building like this, building the world the way you want to look, it gives you feedback. Your whole building thing is in a feedback loop, which, nicer building produces nicer building. And if you don't do that, you're just not, you're basically going to build a bunch of shells. Yes, the shells will get better as you go. You'll build scenery around it, and as you start, it'll be poor and it'll get better and better. But as you get near the end, maybe the integration between the buildings won't work as well. This way, every building I build, every piece is better than the last one. And it's not just better in oh, it's a better building, but this is lacking. No, they're all getting better as we go. It's in this constant feedback loop that, that the first building I built pales in comparison to the last building that was built. And I think that's it. I don't build things like that. I build organic, complete. Now, I will keep going back to look at it and change it and update it so that, for instance, this doesn't look as barren as it does when it's done. But I can tell you that if I were to go through and shell this all out, all we would have is a bunch of shells and we would have no idea where we're going. And I think this is a better technique for learning what you're building. Because like I said, I have an image in my head. I often have an image in my head. And this is the closest I've ever reached that image. I can stop looking around and start building again. But again, we need another building. Now, what I'm thinking is more of a chapel, a church, something like that. I don't know. I might already have something. I doubt it, though. We got a coffee shop. We've got wow. I'm gonna cry. I don't think that Serenity Towers so if I rip the spooky out of this, when I click delete game, hello? Thank you. Yeah, don't know how that would work. I know how it would work. Actually, I do know how it would work. And the answer is probably not very well. Sorry. Okay, so that's not my answer. I'm gonna build a brand new building. The more I look at it, the more I see that it does not suit what we're doing here. Well, it would look fine, but it has windows in it. It has all these things that are basically in the way of creating what we would need to create. So we're better off starting off from scratch, building a new structure, and I'm gonna look for ancient abandoned cathedral is what I'm searching for. Well, this one actually still has glass in it. Okay, I think we've got ourselves a plan here. So we're going to start off with some arches. Not temple arches. I'm going to go with castle arches. Just makes a lot more sense. Ones with peaks. Pointed arch. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll change the color because it's ugly. Where's the white? The white is this. Okay. And then more on the brown side, I think. But not brown, like light gray brown. Okay. So we have that. That's our inner. I know that's a base. I don't care. Okay, I'm just being an idiot. Come on. Oh, yeah. I guess we won't need those there. you know, really wish we could turn off the blue divider. I know I can put down another grid piece and push it down underneath the ground, but is that right? That doesn't look right. Oh, maybe that's right. But it doesn't fit. Oh well, I have my methods. No. What are you doing, Planet Coaster? Seriously, would you please pay attention to what the mouse is doing? When the buttons go up and down, those are things you need to pay attention to. There we go. What the? Seriously, how was that even a thing? How? Planet Coaster, what the heck are you doing? Let's try it again. We want to move this over half a thing, and it's going to go, hey, let's move it up 6 feet as well. Because, you know, come on, you piece of junk. Seriously. There's no reason that should be happening other than a bad algorithm. Move. Oh, here you go. Let's line up all scenery pieces with everything. Sorry, it seems stupid to make that decision. It was almost like the decision they made that with that update that they decided, hey, why don't we average out the horizontal, or the X and Y, so you can never move two things up and down in a straight thing again. And people just lost their crap and they had to fix it. Of course, because that was insane. And nobody would ever want that. Okay, so I do see that I'm like 3 hours in here, and I should probably, think about taking a break, going to get some food. And maybe coming back and finishing Borderlands too, because I'm at that point where I'm on the last mission. So the image I have for this, these are not going to work. Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe they will. I'm going to... You just wait and see. There's nothing. Okay, like, don't copy the colors of anything I'm already building there, Planet Coaster. Did it screw up the colors on this too? No, it didn't. Okay, I got that one right. I don't know why I got that one right. This is not the decoration level that I want. I want it to look better than this. But now I can build a roof. We can have straight roof down the sides, curved roof, not curved roof, but, you know, comes to a peak and curves down the edge across here. And then I'll bring these down to even everything out. We'll have this roof. I can do this part right now. Excuse me. That's not it. That's not it. That's flat. Why, you don't have any option? That's like just a 2-meter castle roof? There's no 2-meter castle roof. You've got to be kidding me. Wow. Yeah, you know how tall that is? It's 4 meters wide, 16 feet wide. So it's about 20 meters tall. That's not going to work. That looks ridiculous. Okay, so we want one in between that. There we go. Yeah, no. It's going to be green. It's not. It's going to be actually black with a greeny tinge to it because, you know, moss. I still don't know, you know, what to build the rest of the walls out of. Yeah, we'll jump into the big what used to be the big glass, the big stained glass window in the front. Swoop in. Realize we're not supposed to be here and just swoop out. I don't know. Why would I do that? They wouldn't. The ground would be so covered in material and stuff that you'd never see pews after 10,000 years. They'd be broken down. But yeah, if one were to do it, it would be pretty simple. You would just use those wooden pieces and planks. It would be very, very easy. A lot easier than theater chairs. But in my case, I'm not worried about it. Sorry, it's just not going to be tile. It's going to all have to be wood. Just wouldn't make sense for it to be anything else. Well, okay, whatever. It's 3 o'clock. We gotta save this. I gotta go. I gotta go do some other stuff. So yeah, when we come back, the plan will be to, of course, continue the chapel or whatever it is. It's probably just gonna sit in one of these spaces. You know, there's not going to be much more for structure than this. I'll try to find a front so I can build a front on it, and you know, figure out how the sides are going to work. But a lot of this is just going to be like deteriorated structure. It's just going to be the shell that would be left. Anything that wasn't wood will be left. So as you can imagine, window frames, all that stuff is all wood. And, you know, even when they built old chapels. So that's the plan. I do have a picture of a Gothic abandoned Methodist church in Indiana that I'm using as sort of a blueprint, maybe a source of ideas. But this thing's only like 200 years old. So it's like nothing. It's brickwork, and it's not even 200 years old. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we're getting there. Like, really, when you think about it, we're not far from having to start to build a ride. Yeah, it's kind of weird looking. It's like it looks like it's just an old wooden church. But when they get inside, there's like all this stonework in it. Nah, some of it's woodwork. Never mind. That'll all be gone. I did think, like last night, I was thinking of, I could have a section or a piece of this, a part of it, like where there's a big fire going on. But again, I've written that off. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. But yeah, I'm very pleased with where we're at. And I really like my new tree. It's a tree of knowledge. Or shade. I don't know. But I'm going to leave this here. We'll pick this up probably tomorrow. Holiday day tomorrow. Chances are we're going to be doing an early stream and a late stream. The late stream today is going to be me finishing Borderlands 2. I don't know what else I'll be doing. Planet Zoo isn't coming out for 24 days until I can play it. It's not coming out for more than a month after, full release. So yeah, I might have to go back and play Horizon Zero Dawn, New Game Plus on hard. So until next time, I'm GameFace. This was Planet Coaster. If you liked it, click the button. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to subscribe. I'd like to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.